What's up, manga heads? It's me, Darfox, and welcome back to What's Going On. This is the first kind of vlog type content I've done in a couple of weeks. It's mainly because I've been rendering a lot of stuff. Render takes me a long time because I have a potato. I don't have a nice, state-of-the-art computer, so even a small video could take me a long time to render. And I didn't want to record a bunch of other videos to kind of like jam up the pipeline of the stuff that I need to get out as soon as I can. Actually, that's not true. The reason why I haven't put up most of these videos is because I've been playing Axiom Verge in anticipation for Axiom Verge 2 coming out. So I beat Axiom Verge 1 again, and now I've been playing Axiom Verge 2. So I kind of fell behind on recording stuff. Also, I'm not the most comfortable person recording myself on video. I don't love the way I look. The fact is, I'm just too handsome. So please, if you watch this vlog and you have a kind heart, please jump into the YouTube comments and just talk about, oh, Darfox, relax, you're not that handsome. It's okay. I'd really appreciate it. It really puts me at ease because I'm not at ease doing this kind of content. I wanted to do it for a long time. Real talk, like, oh, like we should do that. We should do YouTube stuff. We should do vlogs. But it's kind of a hurdle, me doing it, because I'm not comfortable with how handsome I am, truthfully. Alright, but enough of that. I wanted to talk about the YouTube channel and where we at. We are currently sitting at 91 subscriptions at the time of this recording. We might have a couple more by the time I upload this video, but we're at 91, and that's great. But we need 9 more to get to 100. And at 100, we get a custom URL. And I'm used to watching YouTube content where the people are like begging their audience to get them to like 10,000 subs or to 1 million subs. I just want 100. That's all I want. Milestones are milestones. You know what I'm saying? Everybody starts somewhere. But please consider subscribing if you haven't. That would help us out a lot. And we really want that custom URL because it just pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of sucks being like, hey, check our YouTube channel, YouTube/12346U910. We want that YouTube.com/MangaMacTV. That's sexy. Next thing I want to talk about was Million Tag. Million Tag is a reality TV show that Shueisha created for their Shonen Jump YouTube channel. So it's not a reality TV show, it's a YouTube show. But it's styled after a reality TV show, and it kind of has all the same tropes and trappings of a reality TV show, for better or for worse. And the premise of this, if you haven't heard about it, is about teaming up young artists with editors from Shonen Jump or Manga Plus, which is the Shonen Jump web division, to create manga. And that's where the name Million Tag comes from, because this team is like a tag team, and the aspiration is to become the Million Tag. This tag team that creates works that sells millions of copies. That's the romanticized version of the manga creating process. In actuality, what it is just a series of challenges that these 6 teams have to go through. Most of the challenges consist of creating storyboards, so they have to come up with ideas and characters, and they gotta draw a chapter or 2. So it's actually really, really cool if you're interested in seeing kind of the creative process that these youngsters go through, and kind of what their aspirations and like inspirations are. I highly recommend it. I mentioned on the podcast Manga Machinations, perhaps you heard of it. I mentioned on the podcast that it's not quite like Manben, because Manben is kind of like a very reverent documentary style. That's purely about the creation of manga. It's really about the artist putting pen to paper and what flourishes. And there's something very like romantic about that. And it's very romanticized, and that's not bad. It's okay to romanticize that. It's a really cool thing to watch in Manben. But in a way, Million Tag is more honest, because Militag directly talks about what's popular and how to make things popular and what the editors and what the magazines are actually looking for. So I found that aspect really interesting. And Militag and Mamben really aren't meant to be seen next to each other. They weren't meant as like companion shows. But against all odds, in my brain, I actually see them as good complementary shows of how, you know, like the creation process, what it's like, and what can change depending on the money and the wishes to make money. Militag is definitely more dramatized because it is a competition. And if I had anything negative to say about it, I'd say I don't always love the way the competition shows these young artists fail. It's not something I want to see dramatized, really. Failure is obviously a big part of life, and it's probably a huge part of a young artist's life. However, like the way the contest is structured, there's 6 teams and only 3 teams actually place. There's only a first place, second place, and third place. If you don't land on them, there's no 4, 5, and 6th place. You just don't place. So having the cameras roll on these young artists as they unfurl the envelope and take out the paper, and you see that like it's stamped not placed, or you know, no placement, and seeing like them process that failure, it's kind of messed up. And it's the one bit about Militag that I don't love.
ランク外だったのは惜しいし玉田タッグ。
すいません。頑張るしいいのよ。やっぱ評価されたいんですよね。
そうだね。そうだね。いや僕もそうです。
くそ。
スタートとしてそういう深いテーマよりもシンプルに楽しめるものを作ろうって話で始まっちゃってるから、はい、君のせいじゃないです。はい。そもそも新人さんなんだからしっかりテーマ作ってやろうよってあるかもしれない。ありがとう。はい。だからこれは僕のディレクションミスでもあると思う。
It's not super exploitative. It's certainly not like exploitative as like American reality TV show, which is just ridiculous. I'm not comparing it to that stuff. I'm just comparing it with my own expectations and my own feelings and what I see in Militags. And it's like some of that stuff wasn't necessary. But thankfully, that's actually a pretty small part of Militag. It's always there. It's kind of like in the background. And it comes up, you know, however many, I think they had 4 challenges throughout the 8 episodes. Maybe 5 challenges. But, you know, it comes up as many times as there are challenges. But suffice to say, I highly recommend Militag. And the reason I'm even talking about it, I should have started with this, is because we recorded a watch-along. Militag is a Japanese show. It is not available in English, at least not completely. A couple of the first episodes might have English subtitles. We looked it up, but not all of it. So if you want to watch the whole show, come to our watch-along.
And he's the only person who picked a duo. The guy on the left is the writer, the guy on the right is the artist, and they're friends from like school. They actually have 0 years experience writing manga. The first manga they wrote is the one they submitted into this competition.
Wow.
And they're just really, really passionate. They met in middle school, and the writer guy was like, you should definitely become a manga artist. And the artist guy was like, you think my work could go and jump? And the writer was like, hell yeah! So the artist was like, oh shit, I guess I gotta do it then.
That's awesome. The Passion Brothers.
Yeah. The reason the editor picked them is for a duo that has 0 experience making manga. He was so impressed with like what they created, and he thinks like they have the biggest potential to grow during this competition. Look at the duo. They're like, thank you very much, thank you for the praise.
Good avatars.
Yep.
And basically, we have the link to the original episode in each of our descriptions, so that way you can sync up the episodes and watch along. Dogzu is a machine at translating these episodes live, so big compliment to Dogzu. It was a lot of fun sitting in on those videos, and watching him just like Micro Machine Man translate this like Japanese reality TV show. It's pretty cool. I highly recommend it. It's good content if I do say so myself. So go to our YouTube channel and find the watch along playlist. It's gonna have all the episodes there, or just type into Google Million Tag. It will come up. So what's next in the channel is we just started a news show. We plucked news out of the podcast and we're going to put it on YouTube now, just because it fits a little bit better. We're never a comprehensive news source, so it's kind of, it never felt great to just sandwich news in between like all these other segments that we were doing. Sometimes it came off like an afterthought. So I think plucking it out of the podcast and letting it breathe, letting us talk about the news that we find interesting and we think you should find interesting. So check that out. I'm planning on putting that up every single Monday morning. Hopefully I don't fall behind on that, but I want that to be a weekly digest of the news Manga Mac thinks is interesting. So feel free to like the videos and comment on them, anything you find interesting, or maybe even corrections, you know, in case maybe we don't have the full story. So please jump on that. We'd really appreciate it. I have 2 more shelf tours kind of in the chamber. They're going to be a while before they come out, but they are coming and they're both going to be very, very interesting. I've seen one of them and it's really, really cool. I'm excited about it. I'll spoil it. It's another Dagasu shelf tour, but it's kind of with a twist because you've already seen Dagasu's shelf. He doesn't actually have a shelf, he has a collection. But he does find a shelf and he does tour the shelf. So please stay tuned to that. The other thing I want to talk about was our Ko-fi account. We've worked on the podcast for a very long time and we've never asked for donations or tips or gifts or anything like that, and we certainly never started a Patreon. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just we've never been in a situation where we can support a Patreon and run a Patreon. It's kind of like a second job or a first job, obviously, for some people. It's the main revenue, it's the main source of income. But we wanted to open ourselves up and actually ask for money. And Ko-fi is definitely the best option for us right now because it kind of has that no strings attached kind of mentality. We are offering shout outs, of course, but we're not promising specific content for people who are donating. Please consider it. If you ever listen to our podcast, or maybe you just like us, maybe you think we're cool people, please consider us, consider throwing us a couple of coffees. It would help us out a lot because we buy a lot of manga monthly. Pretty much every, unless it's available on the Shonen Jump app or something, every manga we read on the podcast, we're buying. We don't get free packages from publishers, unless it's like small publishers. It's funny, the small publishers are the one that give away the free stuff to people like us. The small people help out the small people, I guess. Like Viz and all these big people, they don't give us nothing. That's all us buying these books because we want to talk about them. And this isn't any kind of ultimatum, by the way. We're not going to stop buying these books because we don't get any coffees. It's nothing like that. We're committed to do this podcast until the day we die. Maybe. But we really wanted to vocalize how much support a Ko-fi account can bring us and how much life it could breathe into us. Basically, the way I think about it, it would help us kick the can down the road to use our money on other things, on other books. If, the books that we're going to use them now get paid for on the Ko-fi, we still got our own money that we're going to use on something else down there. So ko-fi.com/mangamac. Ko-fi.com/mangamac. Go there and check us out, and please consider donating. That's all for this video. I just wanted to do a quick touchdown and kind of like show signs of life. I'm still uploading stuff constantly, but this vlog, this one-on-one kind of like vlog format, has been missing from the channel for a couple of weeks, and I really want to do at least one of these a week, and really just get over myself, get over all my anxieties about being so good looking. You know what I'm saying? So as always, I'd appreciate any kind of comments, any likes. If you can't support us through coffees, then please support us by retweeting us, by liking our tweets, by liking our videos, subscribing. Link our videos around if you think that we have interesting content. Please consider it. I'll see you out there.